When Need for Speed Unbound launched at the end of November, it heralded a return to form for Electronic Arts' long-running open-world driving series. But something felt a little off. There was no reviews before the $80 Palace Edition launched, which made it feel a little like a shot in the dark for the players and hinted at a possible lack of confidence from the Californian HQ. Since its launch, there's been one minuscule stability-focused game update. That's it, in nearly 3 months. But we needn't have worried. Not only is Unbound really good, throughout the year there will be a series of content additions and game improvements. It all starts here with Volume 2, which includes much requested features, new cars and fresh modes. We've been hands-on ahead of the release with the biggest change to Unbound so far. The fight back starts here. Lakeshore Online is a large part of Unbound's appeal, and it has been missing one key component to date: cops. Police chases are intrinsic to the appeal of this franchise, present since 1994's The Need for Speed, the very first entry. They also feature heavily in the single-player campaign of the most recent releases, patrolling the streets and adding to your heat level. This was juxtaposed with the quiet streets of cross-platform multiplayer world, where they were completely absent, a glaring omission and one that is now thankfully rectified with Volume 2. The flashing light-equipped Dodge Chargers and Ford Explorers roam the Chicago streets, as you'd expect, just like offline, also appearing on your minimap. Crash into them and a pursuit begins. Why might this be a good addition, you may be asking? Well, it makes the two worlds of single-player and multiplayer seem more cohesive. It also adds variety to the gameplay experience. But clearly the main bonus is cash, or bank in Need for Speed terminology, earned by taking down an officer of the law. But wiping out a cop nets $200, and that is handy for car modifications or cosmetic items. The cash soon starts adding up. There's also a collaborative element. If you're being pursued and someone else on your server comes across the chase, they can join in and help you decimate your law enforcement adversaries. Teaming up with some friends to take down cops between playlists is smile-inducing carnage. Next, we hope their presence can be added within some of the actual multiplayer races sooner rather than later. A feature like that, unlike in single player, remains absent. Something else you can now participate in alongside friends are Rumble races. Included in 2 of the online playlists, which place 3 events back to back to crown an overall champion. A Rumble is typically a short track race littered with hairpins and ludicrous jumps. They are the sort of layout a racing driver might describe as technical, with tight and twisty formats. It creates an action-packed race, the first lap frantically working out which way the track goes next, the second and third laps deciding on which corners to drift around and how to maximise your boost. Wasting it just before a hairpin and hitting a parking lot wall head-on is all too easy. You cannot afford to make a mistake, as time is even more precious here. Frenetic, it becomes the most riotous format in the game by a country mile, and ideal for those looking for short, sharp blasts of competitive racing. A welcome addition, ideal for those who just want to jump in, race door to door and have a blast. If this all sounds a little multiplayer heavy in focus, then yes, you would be correct. This continues with the redistribution of winnings, which have been tinkered with throughout the network-connected experience. During the reshuffling of playlists, payouts have generally increased across the board, and top-level earnings are now mostly similar across the differing car classes. Hopefully, this means more people participate in races with lower category cars more often. You can also now switch cars mid-playlist. This was already possible for multi-class events, but it's now the case even if the class remains consistent throughout the 3 races, allowing you to mix it up should one of your cars suit a particular layout. Alongside Rumble races, there are also 2 new playlists and fresh endurance events. All notable, but the higher bank rewards are the main bonus here. For example, playlist Revved Up used to pay a maximum of $21,000, but now that's up to $38,000 for the winner and 81% boost. For those, and only those, who subscribe to EA Play, there is a pre-modified and customized 1971 Nissan Fairlady ZG Epic Custom. There is also a fashion tie-in Bullmart Edition Lotus Emira. This is already in the game, driven by the character Eleanor, but now it can be yours. It's unlocked when you win 3 online playlists driving a Lotus. These are just sideshows to the main deal, an all-new car for the game, teased as the ultimate luxury, and secret until now. In the words of Drake in Dreams Can Buy Money, I send the Maybach out in the neighborhoods, they never seen it. Yes, that's the rather incongruous Mercedes-Maybach S 680 saloon. This Luxo barge drives as you would imagine. Very powerful, stable down the highway, but due to its gigantic length, it's about as nimble as a cruise liner. We must admit, however, that it looks particularly menacing with a body kit, even with the usually tasteless Mansory design. Certainly more refined than Jay-Z and Kanye West's attempt at modifying the back in the Otis music video. Maybe that monstrosity will be in Unbound Volume 3? How you unlock the Maybach is key, as a new activity type has been added, hot laps. These join the likes of speed traps, drift zones and jumps as optional purple icons on Lakeshore's map. Each is a diminutive loop circuit with a target time. The quicker you go, the more stars you can earn, up to 3 per hot lap. It isn't, however, an easy ride to get all 3 stars, taking practice, determination, and learning the layouts to within a millimetre. You also need the car tuned for agile handling, but there's also no slouch in a straight line. We found ourselves chasing the top times on a regular basis, being drawn into the hunt for the elusive stars. You need to collect 30 stars exclusively from hot lap events, and the Maybach unlocks for purchase at $230,000. A host of smaller quality of life changes are welcome too, alongside the new content and modes. You can now no longer downgrade Ferraris several tiers to pick up an unfair advantage, but you can now skip music tracks mid-race with the D-pad, and crucially, there will be 3 new daily challenges to earn extra bank from. A feature that reminds us of some previous Need for Speed titles, a welcome addition to the cash earning possibilities, and in our experience, most will be completed naturally, and every 24 real-world hours this will update. Arguably more important than these changes, however, is that EA, Criterion Games, and the subsumed Codemasters Cheshire team seem to be in this for the long haul. Developers working away in silence, waiting for the opportune moment to launch an update once it was ready and substantial, as opposed to a constant drip feed of smaller changes. We admire this boldness. Now we've tried Volume 2 and see significant changes, anticipation has built for what the rest of this year has in store for Need for Speed Unbound. Unbound Volume 2 is available for download as a free update on the 21st of March for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox Series X and S. The full patch notes are linked in the video description and is billed as the first in a series of significant updates. Will you be downloading it? Let us know in the comments below, and please subscribe for the hottest racing game takes in the future. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep it pinned.